It's Carry On. It's on Netflix, and y'all asked us to review it, so here we are.
And I'm so glad that you did, because this was super fun. This is all the things that we like all in one place. So come hang out with us, because yes, it is award season and we're talking about some highfalutin, really serious stuff with intermissions and overtures. But when there's a lean, mean action movie on Netflix, we'll do it for you.
One bag for one life.
Who the hell are you?
I'm the guy you listen to.
We're not Liam Neesoning this time. Taron Egerton kind of is in the place of Liam Neeson here.
Yeah.
He plays a TSA agent who is stuck working on Christmas Eve. He's kind of been toiling on the metal detectors. He has not been put on the machine. He's not been given the big prestigious assignment, but he asks the right person at the right time, finally shows a little bit of moxie and puts himself out there and gets to be on the machine on Christmas Eve day at LAX. And just watching people line up and put their luggage on the conveyor belt, like that was stressful enough for me. Before any kind of terrorist plot even kicks into place, I'm like, the airport on Christmas Eve.
Shoes and belt off.
But you never know whether you have to or not. Even like with TSA pre-check, it just depends.
I know. Do I take the laptop out of the bag or not? You have to tell me.
From city to city and lane to lane, you never know. His wife, played by Sofia Carson, also works for one of the airlines, this fictitious airline at LAX. So they're both stuck working. It's an exciting time for them and a stressful time. And wouldn't you know, in the middle of all of it, he gets this little earpiece that someone leaves in one of the little things where you usually put your keys and your phone. Someone leaves an earpiece for him, and it's an ominous voice. It's the voice of Jason Bateman playing against type as this totally evil guy, like chillingly, cruel. And he's a mastermind behind
that against type, though.
I mean, he's usually like smart, snarky in an entertaining way.
Yes, but like there's always always an undercurrent of dickishness in his character. So like I think for him to go full on villain is a brilliant stroke. Right.
And that was true even back on Silver Spoons, right?
Oh,
he was like the snarky best friend on Silver Spoons
or,
like 40 something years ago.
What was that? The It's Your Move. This and you go back and watch It's Your Move. He's so good on that show. He's like 10.
He's also a bad guy in Smoking Aces.
Oh, true.
From like 20-something years ago. But here he's full-on terrorist. And so what Taron Egerton has to do is just allow this one person through with a piece of luggage and like, don't ask questions. Yeah. Just let this person through. It's going to be fine. We've all got Christmas to get to and family to get to. Just this one person with this one bag, just let him through. And of course, he can't do that. Of course, something awful is in there. And so this all takes place like in the airport terminal, essentially. Like that's basically the main set here. Yeah. Eventually, there is some airplane action. But I thought this was totally tense and edited well and step by step. Like you believe the way that everyone handles this thing. Like he tries to text somebody, he tries to contact somebody through his Apple Watch, and like every step of the way they're on him and they're stopping him and they're threatening him and they know a lot about him. And even if they don't, they're bluffing in ways that like he believes there's a threat, and that's all that matters. And it's a really good cast and it moves really well and it's 2 hours long. It does not feel like it's 2 hours long. So I had a good time.
Yeah, it's of the Die Hard family. You're watching somebody who is smart enough to know what, like, the ways around it, but he's also dealing with people who are smart enough to know that he knows the ways around it, and they're ready for, every kind of possibility that might come up. The only beef I have on this film, when you said it was lean and mean, the first half hour is a little draggy. They really spend a lot of time setting up these characters in a way that I think a better script could have given you a handful of lines and told you everything you need to know about where he is in his life, about, their future, all of these things that the movie rather laboriously sets up before the action really kicks in. I think they could have literally cut to the chase faster and not have sacrificed any of the exposition backstory character thing. That said, once this thing kicks in, it goes, and it's super entertaining, and it's very tense and nerve-wracking. Theo Rossi as the sort of as a henchman guy is quite chilling. Danielle Deadwyler, I love that she's making movies like this in addition to being in stuff like, you know, The Piano Lesson. She's great as the person from she's the FBI.
She's
right?
a police detective, I think.
I wasn't sure. I was just FBI, LAPD, Homeland Security. Like, there's a lot of mishmash going on here. Anyway, as a person with a gun and a badge, she's terrific. And I think does a lot to sort of like, you know, gather together all these other story elements about things that are happening off airport that are important.
Right. And she has to deal with a lot of exposition as far as like why, as I say, why things are happening, and doesn't make it feel leaden. You know, she delivers it in a way that's authoritative and also like brisk and keeps things moving. There is a totally thrilling chase that takes place in like the luggage, like the bag sorting,
the conveyor
like
belts,
conveyor belts and like chutes and ladders, and it's really, really fun. And like I think that right there is a great example of like the way this is edited, the way this is paced, and just, you know, it sort of gives you what you want right there.
Yeah, Jaume Collet-Serra, like we really liked his sort of B movie stuff, you know, like Nonstop and
he did Orphan. They did the first Orphan.
He did the first Orphan, Unknown, you know, even The Commuter, which got a little bit, you know, out of control, but for the most part, like really good. And then he started doing shit like Jungle Cruise. It's like, no, I want my trashy, actiony Jaume Collet-Serra, and this is that. So thank you. You know, that I think that this is the pivot we wanted to see from him, because he's really good at this kind of movie, and he does it real well.
Yeah, and it creates a really vivid sense of place of like what LAX is like. I was watching with Nick. He's like, it'd be way more crowded than that. I'm like, no, I think this makes total sense. Like on Christmas Eve, it's like stressful, but it's not overwhelming. You know,
the 22nd and 23rd are probably way worse, I bet.
Right, the day before Thanksgiving is worse, right? But here, like in theory, people are. Although I have to go to the airport tomorrow to get my sister and brother-in-law, but they're not coming into LAX.
Okay,
they're coming into Long Beach.
Okay, nice.
And I don't think anybody's going to do a terrorist plot on Long Beach. Like, it's small and it's charming.
Yeah, I think you're probably in good shape there. Also, how did I not know that there were peppermint ho-hos?
Oh, that's true.
I need that in my life now.
Did you then probably Google like where to find peppermint ho-hos?
I didn't, but that's when we're done here today. I'll be checking into that. Although I'll tell you, I had to go to the grocery store this morning to get some last minute stuff for Christmas Eve. The Valentine's candy is already out.
Ah, come on, let us savor this for a couple more days.
I know, it's insane. I don't know what anyone's thinking. And apparently, you can find Easter eggs at Costco. So I think the Reese's egg shaped one. So yeah, nothing makes sense anymore. But all that being said, Carry On is a hoot and really entertaining.
Yes. What's your number?
Like a 7.8. I had a really good time.
I'm going to say an 8. I had fun too. So if you want just like mindless thrills while you're wrapping gifts, you know, it will reward you for paying attention though, because little things do matter here. If you want something fun in the background, this is a great choice.